Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the NFL's active leader in passing yards, Drew Brees, and the New Orleans Saints take on Joe Flacco and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, the former Purdue Boilermaker. It's Drew Brees.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And running back Mark Ingram is coming into his own as a runner in the NFL. Over 1,000 yards each the last 2 seasons. And now he's teaming with Alvin Kamara in a backfield where both of them can run the football effectively and both of them can catch out of the backfield as well.
On second down, here's Brees. And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Throwing on first down is Brees. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Linebackers still often control defenses, and C.J. Mosley does exactly that for his. A Pro Bowler 3 of his first 4 years. Not only can he run and hit, he diagnoses plays so well, feels them out, and makes sure his team is organized and in the right spot on each and every snap.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
No, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After reviewing the play, the line on the field is reversed.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Breeze. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target, and it's 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. Shotgun now for Breeze. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And Lutz's kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll be led out by their veteran QB, the former Delaware Blue Hen, Joe Flacco.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On the ground with their leading rusher from a season ago, it's Alex Collins. And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Flacco here on 2nd down. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Third down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. He goes full extension, and he's got it. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3-and-out. First down run with Collins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davis. On the defensive side, these are the starters for New Orleans. This unit, 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. Where the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Flacco to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. From the gun, Flacco. Crabtree with it over the middle. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you guys didn't come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well. First
red zone chance now for the Ravens. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Here's Collins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Second down, Flacco now. And that's incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Flacco from the gun. That's complete right around the 8. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays and only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. They find some open field here. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, 97 yards. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. And quite a bit of razzle-dazzle and electricity on that return. It goes for 97 yards. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And the Ravens taking the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They go play action here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sheldon Rankins able to get in and run him down for what will be a loss of 15 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Collins, and he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 10-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Play action. Flacco. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Alex Anzalone in there to get him for a loss of 9. And that'll lead to 4th down.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Here's Sam Cook now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Here's Ginn. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to push your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Breeze. Caught on the left side by Ginn. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. Want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time to discuss Michael Crabtree. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Flacco to throw here on 3rd down. And he's got Snead. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at it and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Looking for Crabtree, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kim Crowley, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Crabtree the target on that one.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Ready?
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Bree's going to try and throw on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. They'll begin the drive with Collins. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
The Ravens on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run forward with Collins. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. play fake here on first down. And incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. That'll bring up second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Setting up to throw, Flacco. It's not incomplete. It's John Brown. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 18 yards on his first catch in the game. It's a first down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now Flacco. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Fighting through, and he's got space. How did he stay on his feet? The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Throwing here on first down. Flacco. Snead's got it. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Passing play, Flacco. And that is incomplete here.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Ravens on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And again, it's Flacco to throw. And able to find John Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does when a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Once more, it's Flacco. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 3rd and just 1, it's Flacco. This will be caught at about the 6. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Flacco will take to the air again. And he's taken down here by the Saints. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Flacco. And his pass incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Flacco drops it underneath for Collins. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Now a timeout coming here defensively. As on 4th down, may as well make them punt it. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal.
Ready? You waiting?
The final shot before half for Breeze. He'll let it fly in the direction again. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where you see the final score there. 28-10, the final. From there we say, so long, America. Hello, England. As we head over the Atlantic to check out the action in London. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Tennessee Titans. Phillip Rivers, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. 31-10 was the final score. In our game, it was the right arm of Drew Brees that led the way in the first half. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Joe Flacco here. We get a peek at what he's done so far in this game. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually... Sparks people, hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. This is Collins on the handoff. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end. In a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
Here's Sam Cook now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Ginn. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ready? You waiting?
The play fake to Ingram. Now it's Breeze. Eluding the pressure right. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the 2nd person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, 2nd drive, not much better. The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Breeze. He gets it to Thomas. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. That his 1st catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy could be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for him, too.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way. Break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40.
Ready? You waiting?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Ready? You waiting? Ready for second.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Buying time to his left. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Ready? You waiting?
From the gun, it's Breeze. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 1st down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Ready? You waiting? Ready for second.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Breeze gives it up to Ingram. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now Breeze. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Lutz now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To pass, Flacco. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Alex Collins that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Flacco. To the right side, complete to Hurst. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 8. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
Offense.
So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Flacco from the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
Saints get set to trot out there. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Ready. We're waiting. Ready for attack.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Ready. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting. Hey, two. Hey, kill.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Ingram again. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync. Because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets. And you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together. And that's what we're seeing right now.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Flacco now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. Here's Flacco. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
And my initial thought was that maybe he was just trying to blindly throw this one away, and maybe he was. But he's going to get away with it because as he tried to throw it over the left sideline there's a receiver right there in the area, so no grounding call.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run with Collins. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Got a man. It's Brown. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here we go. 4th down, 4th quarter. Flacco. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
First down, Flacco. Crabtree with it over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 more on that one and another first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Now a give to Collins. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They go again with Collins. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. From the gun, Flacco. This will be caught just inside the 10. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Kenneth Dixon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score and the defense. That is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Ready?
They go play action here on 1st down. Thomas has got it, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Ready? Number 80. Kill.
Now Breeze. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
The Saints on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7.
Ready? Yellow lady.
Here's Breeze to throw. And Gibbs got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Breeze to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Ready? You ready?
This is Ingram on first and 10. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively, with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
There's a carry now for Mike Gillisley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Saints on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 11.
Ready? You ready?
Breeze now to throw. But it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Collins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down. Play action. Flacco. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Flacco will take to the air again. And he's got to hook up to Moore. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And again, it's Flacco to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
First and 10 here for Flacco. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. They go pass again with Flacco. He finds Lashley, complete over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. A red zone first down for Flacco. Crabtree has it. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Once more, it's Flacco. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Operating out of the gun, Flacco, and almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And able to find John Brown. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Flacco from the gun. Drops it underneath for Collins. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. One receiver right, that's Brown. 2nd down, Flacco now. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Setting to throw, Flacco, and that one is caught. So they convert here, and don't look now, but this one's back to a 1-score game. And now we've got a 1-score game, but at least a little light at the end of the tunnel.
Is that what we call a glimmer of hope?
Glimmer of hope.
Because they've got to get an onside kick and then find their way into the end zone before time expires. Glimmer, or what's less than a glimmer?
I don't know. You're the one that knows all the big words. A sparkle? A sparkle.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we're going with.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Drew Brees with a kneel down, and that ought to do it. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for New Orleans, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Here's Blair Walsh now about ready to get us started. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. On first down, Breeze. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. First carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And room to run as he's out past the 35-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. They'll try to run forward with Elliott. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
Devin with a give, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Devin will throw on 2nd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And got his man complete. The 20, 10, 5. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Set, green, 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Set, red, 80.
Wade in the gun. And this will be a touchdown. In for the score. And the Madden Elites are in for 6. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Madden Elites heading back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On play action, now Breeze. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Here we go.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Here we go. Ready.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it. But it's the rest of his teammates that get him free.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal.
Set. Green. 80.
Devin will throw. Man open left side is Brown. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. That play by Devin brings up a new set of downs. Nice catch as well. Good connection.
Yeah, I like what you mentioned. The key part of it, a new set of downs. Well done.
First and 10. Devin Wade drops back. Right side, that's complete to Tito Flavors. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Set. Blue. 80.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Set. Blue. 58.
First and 10. Devin Wade back to pass. It's caught left side by Cooks. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Gold now out to kick it away. The return man here, Dwayne Harris. Gets past one man. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Madden Elite's offense coming back on the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On first down, Wade. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Yellow 20.
Throwing again. Wade. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. On that quick throw, what do you think? Possibly something they saw at the line to go there?
Possibly in the game plan. And you notice they went with an empty backfield. No backs there to help with pass protection. So you have to have a counter to that because you know they're probably going to bring pressure when they see an empty backfield. So you get rid of the ball quickly. Quick drop, ball's out of the quarterback's hands, keeps it from getting hit, and they get a completion.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The punter wing is on as he sends this one away. With it is Brown. Now a hit and a loose football. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the 3rd phase, but you see here it can be the 1st phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down. Get to the 4th quarter. Try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Welcome back live to Orlando as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye.
43.
They'll finally throw with Devin. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Madden Elites offense trotting out again. Breeze now on 1st down. Out left to Shaheen. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Breeze. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Again, it's Breeze. And it's a touchdown. Antonio Brown from 4 yards out. And the Madden Elites draw a bit closer. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Set, 361.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's letting it fly for Cooks. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And that'll set them back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Alaska! Alaska!
Devin from the shotgun. He's going to air one out. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline, because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but, yeah, you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So that'll do it from here for Charles Davis and the rest of our crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com/Madden. Good night, everybody. again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. And here we go. We're underway in Madden Ultimate Team. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Devin with play action. And his throw here is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Devin drops back. He's going deep for Brown. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. Unfortunate interception there by Devin Wade, and it may sound cliche, but those are some of the learning bumps in the NFL.
Listen, great quarterbacks throw interceptions in the game. The key is whether he'll learn from it and not make the same mistake the next time that opportunity presents itself.
The Madden Elites heading back onto the field. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Breeze. It's complete to his tight end, Charles Clay. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a play fake. Breeze. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Ready.
Play action. Breeze. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
A dump off to Elliott. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. A very solid gain of 27. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
Ready.
Into the red zone, it's Breeze. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is, finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Madden Elites have taken the early lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Gold now out to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. So that'll back them up 5. A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Second down, Devin will throw it. And that's incomplete.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wade to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Back deep, Antonio Brown. Fights off the defender. 31 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Madden Elites offense coming back on the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Waiting. 3 seconds.
1 second down, Elliott. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back with more after this.
Waiting.
Breeze now on first down. He's going to walk one deep left. That's caught inside the 20. And he will have a touchdown. Antonio Brown, 55 yards. And the Madden Elites, they extend their lead.
Well, partner, go ahead and strike up the band. Cue up the dance moves. AB is in the end zone yet again. And that's not a surprise at all. His ability to turn something into a bigger play after the catch, that run after catch, one of the things that helps separate him as one of the elite receivers in the NFL.
Gold able to tack on the extra point. And it's now 14-0. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Wade. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. 3rd down here. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Wade in the gun. And now another one thrown incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Now Browns. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Madden Elites offense trotting out again. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Here's Breeze to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Elliott. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he comes back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit, Ball pops out, incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Breeze. It's complete to Brown, right side. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20, 10. He takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead, not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Extra point up and good by Bailey, and that'll make our score 14-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Madden Elite's heading back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
You ready?
Now Breeze to try again after the pick six. And a first hookup with his halfway tight end, Rob Gronkowski. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Shotgun now for Breeze. Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. He was looking for Gronk that time. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. They go play action with Devin. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Looking for Cruz, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. The Madden Elite's offense coming back on the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Here's Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Madden Elite's offense trotting out again. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Breeze will try again on second down. The left side throw complete to Adams. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
On play action, now Breeze. Quickly to Gronkowski, that's caught. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. This is Elliott. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Again, it's Elliott. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now Breeze on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Gold is able to put it through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Wade on the bootleg. On the move to his left. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. There defensively was Buster's screen to knock it away.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right. They have had no room to breathe.
Blue 80.
Third and a bit here for Devin. And they'll let it go deep for Cook. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Ready. You ready? Set.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Left side here, caught by Clay. A gain of 6 there on first. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Welcome back live to Orlando, as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal.
Ready. Yellow lady. Yellow set. Ready. Set.
Now Elliott. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gold now out to kick it away. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. First and 10, Devin Wade back to pass. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Trying to get it to Tariq Cohen out of the backfield. And now it's second down. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Devin with play action. A heavy rush, and down he goes. Mark Barron coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
See what I did there?
And that pressure gets to him again. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Set.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. The Madden Elites heading back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he will score. It's a touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 32 yards. And the Madden Elites, they extend their lead.
Well, partner, when you get a team full of elite players, the Madden Elites, you'd expect them to jump on them just like we're seeing.
And the guys on the other side, yes, they're NFL players too, and there's some good players over there, so don't get us wrong, but they're called elites for a reason.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. I think they came into this game with hope. That hope got snuffed out pretty quickly.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time. Now a couple of first downs on this drive for Devin Wade.
Yeah, he's starting to get comfortable out there, isn't he? You can see him. He's out there feeling good about things, and I think his offense is responding.
First and 10, Devin Wade drops back. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Paul. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
This pass caught with the 4. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Brandon Cooks, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2. And Devin will throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Breeze is looking to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. The give is to Elliott. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this morning and I missed our AM workout, we still made it through this thing together, didn't we?
Well, you always know I need extra workouts just to keep up with you, so it doesn't matter. But thanks for sharing a booth, and thanks for being our quarterback.
Yeah, you're the quarterback. Always a pleasure, my friend. So that'll do it for Charles Davis, the rest of our crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everybody.